guys, it's reenactment day here with another impression video. Now in this video I'm going to be covering what was the most common issue for the US soldier in 1943. Now in 1943 there was a lot of things in development. I'm just going to list a couple: the M43 shovel, the M43 jacket, the M43 double buckle boots. But none of that's going to be covered in this video because none of this was common issue by that point. This was when it was developed, this was when it was adopted, this was when it started to be put into production. But the Standard Army was still being issued the older items at this point. There were some changes of the items that they issued, but it's still going to be pretty similar to the M40, to the early to 1942. So we'll get started with the standard uniform. Now, as mentioned in the videos before, the M37 wool uniform. Wool shirt, wool pants, standard button shirt. You got your rank insignia, your ranks, your friggin' divisional patch. Mine's just drawing a blank right now. And your standard uniform. Now I'm gonna move down, go to footwear again as I normally do, and cover that. Come back up, cover field jackets, helmets, and pretty much everything like that. So let's get right into it. Alright, as you can see, I have the standard Type 3 service shoe, the Rough Outs, and the Model 1938 leggings. This is pretty much the same thing that was seen throughout these were seen throughout the entire war, I should say. But same thing as 1942. You could also see these in 1944, 1945. These were just common issue and just issued throughout the entire war. So if you have to pick one boot to go with, one set, go with these. Don't go with the double buckle boots, even though they are a lot easier to use. Some reenactments like D-Day do not allow, D-Day Ohio, they do not allow double buckle boots. You need the boots and the gaiters, so I would go with these. But other than that, standard rubber sole leather boots, Rough Outs, so you can dub them a lot easier. And that's just the boots. Now we'll move right back up to the field gear, field jacket, and all that. And we'll get right into that right now. So next, what's going to be issued is the M41 jacket. Like I said, the M43 jacket was in issue, but was being developed and being manufactured, but this was still being issued. It wasn't until 1944, very late 1943, early 1944 that the later stuff started to be thrown in. But this stuff was actually seen throughout the entire war. So if you did have to pick a single bit of gear for the World War II soldier, I would pick this year, 1943, because this stuff was seen throughout the entire war. So the M41 field jacket, nice wool-lined field jacket. It's not fun to wear in the summer because it's hot. Also not fun to wear in the winter because it's not that warm. It's good fall spring jacket, but pretty much by itself, it's not good for winter. So the M43 jacket has a zipper, as you can see, which is pretty uncommon. A lot of things are just buttons. So we'll just throw the buttons up, covering the zipper. And it's the field jacket. Again, you could have your ranks and divisional patch on the jacket, but other than that, standard jacket with two little pockets going in at this angle right here. Good for, keeping your hands warm on a chilly night or something. So next we'll move on to the gas mask bag. This is the lightweight gas mask bag. They did away with the M3 kidney bag. This is what was issued. For training they would have the older items, but for standard for issue in combat, the lightweight gas mask bag became the most common. Now, when this gas mask bag was being developed, I'll just throw this over my side, the designers also had the state of mind that the GIs were going to throw away their gas mask and just use this as a normal bag, because gas wasn't going to be used in World War II. Everybody already kind of knew that. So this bag was just issued it was made and designed so it could carry a gas mask perfectly fine and be used as such, but it could also be used as just a personal items bag, general purpose carry bag. Pretty sure you can actually fit one ammo can in this bag, but other than that, it has some nice pouches on the inside, quick, easy open with lift the dots, but some nice pouches to hold items. So this bag was mostly throughout the war used for carrying extra ammo, personal supplies, and when usually they would put it on first like this. I'll explain that why in one quick second. We'll be covering the field gear right here. Model 1923 cartridge belt with model 1926 or 24 med pouch, and model 1910 canteen cover and canteen. This year, I'm pretty sure the stainless steel canteen was being developed, but this year it was still the model 1910 plastic cap or aluminum cap canteen that was issued throughout. Was seen. Now, the aluminum cap canteen was seen throughout the entire war, World War I, II, through World War II. Plastic cap canteen came about in 1942 and was seen throughout the entire war into Korea. And the stainless steel canteen was pretty much seen, was used until pretty recently. I'm pretty sure it was used until the 80s or 90s, until they switched it with the plastic canteens. But it was seen throughout the entire war. And also on the haversack, I don't know how this stuff gets all tangled, but it does. There we go. But the haversack, the model 1928 haversack, standard issue, still had the T-handle shovel. The M43 shovel was in development, but wasn't widely issued, so I'm sticking with the 1910 shovel. There we go. So they also did away with the 05 bayonet and kept it with and developed the M1 bayonet. Now, as you can see, it's a lot shorter. These bayonets were just used for pretty much hand-to-hand combat, tools for just whittling, cutting down things. They could be used as a bayonet, but pretty much the main reason why you see all these long bayonets in World War I, like the 05, the 07, and all like that, was actually for killing horsemen off horses, because cavalry was still a major threat, and they wanted the long bayonets to actually reach the horsemen on top of the horses. Now in World War II, since cavalry wasn't really around anymore, they just shortened it down so it could be used as a utility knife, and as you keep seeing, as it gets later, the bayonets keep getting shorter and just for a combat knife. So, the M1 bayonet right in there, and we'll throw if this stuff isn't all tangled already, but we'll throw the haversack on. Set up, hook it on. And this is how it sit, and this is how I'd wear it. It's hot in here, I'm sorry. The jacket, gas mask bag actually does, you can see it sits nicely. It's not big, it's not bulky, it's just a perfect size to run around with and just have in combat. Now, some guys just ditch the bag altogether, but I like to use the bag, and so do many reenactors. So what was also issued in 1943 was the fixed bail M1 helmet, still front seam fixed bail. This helmet is 1943. This particular helmet is 1943. So it was seen and common for 1943. But what started being issued, 1943. Sorry, it just rolled all the way over there. Is the swivel bail M1 helmet. Now the chin strap would still be khaki. It's a late war helmet, but just to give you the general idea of the swivel bail right there. Front seam swivel bail was seen, and if the fixed bails broke off the helmet, it would be switched to a swivel bail. But I like to have my fixed bail helmet as just my general purpose reenacting helmet. I just like it. And also we'll just cover the liner. High pressure liner. They still did see the Halsey liner and the low pressure liner throughout the entire war, but these became standard issue because they didn't fall apart. And as you can tell, it didn't fall apart. This is an original liner, 75 years old, 80 years old. It's in good condition. put it on. And lastly, we'll just cover the weapon that was issued. I do not have one to show right now, but it's the M1 Garand. Now it's a semi-auto 30-06 caliber rifle, proper designation, rifle caliber 30 M1. I could go into detail about the specific items that were issued on the Garand in 1943, but I don't want to do that since I don't have one to show you, and it would take like 10 minutes to go over every little component that was different. But M1 Garand was the standard issue in 1943. The model 1903 was still seen throughout the entire war, and the 03A3 was starting to be put into development in 1943 as well. Later throughout the war, the 03 adopted the specialist kind of rifle. Sniper, Grenadier, pretty much the main reason the 03 was picked to be the Grenadier rifle over the M1 was its easy ability to load a blank in for firing grenades. With the 03, you could just flip off the magazine. You could still have like 5 rounds on the magazine, open the bolt without it taking another cartridge off the bottom, load in a single blank, close it, fire a blank off, and flip it back, turn the magazine back on, and then you could just cycle another round and just keep going like that. It was fast, it was easy. You didn't have to worry about the M1, which the M1 has, you know, the end block that just automatically feeds. There's no magazine turn off on the M1 Garand. So that rifle is commonly picked for Grenadier. Later on, the M1 Garand, like in 1945, the M1 Garand adopted the Grenadier role. With the gas plug, they had a little plunger in it to deactivate the semi-auto function of the M1 Garand, and it's just the U.S. Army wanted to make it so any rifle could be turned into a Grenadier rifle. So that was what was seen in that time. But those two main standard issue rifles. Now there were other things like the BAR, the carbine, the Thompson, but the standard issue for everybody was either the 1903 or the M1 Garand. So that is it for this video. I'll just do a quick spin, show you the gear that's on that I'm wearing. This is the common issue throughout the entire war. So if you had to pick any year of this like series to get items from, it would be this, because this was seen throughout the entire war. You could also do it based off your unit. If you don't have a unit yet, choose this. But if you have a specific unit that got in later war, you could get the later war items and go off that. But actually, my unit was under General Patton. General Patton liked the M41 jacket. So even though the M43 jacket was better and more used later in the war, my unit still commonly had the M41 jacket. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. If you have any video ideas, please put them down in the comments. Any questions on any of these gears, any of the items, any, I don't know, just whatever, put them down in the comments. I'll try and answer them. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.